everyone. Myself Bhumi Patel, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Instrumentation and Control. Today's our topic is discrete time approximation of a continuous time state space model. In the unit number 2, the continuous time state space system to the discrete time state space. In the last session, we will study about the straight transition matrix using the two methods. The first one is the Cayley-Hamilton method and the second one is the Z transformation method. So, what is the equation to discrete time approximation of a continuous time state space model? So, first of all, we have to take the equation of the continuous time system, and it is nothing but the x dot t is equal to a x of t plus b u of t, and y of t is equal to c x of t plus d u of t, where x dot t is equal to our state equation and y of t is equal to our output equation. Now we have to convert this continuous time state system into the approximation of this discrete time state space analysis. So we can put the t is equal to kt using the forward difference equation, and then we have to take the approximating derivative. Okay, what is the kt? So k is the sampling and t is the sampling time. Okay, so x dot t, where t is equal to kt, is equal to 1 by t x of k plus 1t minus x of kt. Here we have to use the forward difference equation. Okay, now 1 by t is equal to, 1 by t in the bracket x of k plus 1t minus x of kt is equal to a x of kt plus b u of kt. Now simplify this equation, and what is the output equation? Y of kt is equal to c x of kt plus d u of kt. Okay, now rearrange the above equation, we can get x of k plus 1t is equal to I plus ta into x of kt plus t into b u of kt. We have to simply rearrange the state equation term. So we can get, if we can put sampling time t is equal to 1. So we can get x of k plus 1 is equal to I plus a x of kt plus b u of kt, and y of k is equal to c x of k plus d u of k. Okay, now approximately we have to write the equation in the discrete form like this manner. X of k plus 1 is equal to a x of k plus b u of k, because here I plus a is nothing but the A matrix, and here in the x of kt put t is equal to 1. So we can get x of k plus 1 is equal to a x of k plus b u of k, and y of k is equal to c x of k plus d u of k. Okay, so this is the simplified version to the continuous time state space model to the approximation of the discrete time state space analysis. Okay, now we have to take one example. Consider the state variable representation of the second order system presented like this: x1 dot x2 dot is equal to 0 1 minus 2 minus 3 x1 x2 plus 0 1 u. Here you have to note that the equation is given in the continuous time state space model. Okay, we have to find the state response x of k for the unit step input. So input is given unit step, and they will given the initial condition x1 of 0, x2 of 0, that is equal to 0 1 by using the discrete time of a continuous time state space model. Okay, so first of all we have to find the value of G and H matrix, because what is the equation of the discrete time? It is like this manner. So here we have to write the solution like this. Here A is equal to G is equal to 0 1 minus 2 minus 3 as it is B is equal to H, it is 0 1. So first of all we have to find the value of Zi minus G. Inverse, what is the equation of Zi minus G? It is the adjoint of Zi minus G upon mode of Zi minus G. So first of all we have to find the adjoint of Zi minus G. This is the second method. If we cannot use the trace method, so this is the second term find the value of adjoint f. Okay, so adjoint of zi minus z. So we can put here z into I minus z matrix. Now adjoint of z into z minus 1 to z plus 3. So we have to simply reverse these two terms z and z plus 3, and we have to change the sign of these two terms. So we can get z plus 3, 1, minus 2 and z. Now mode of zi minus z, it is z into z plus 3 plus 2. So z square plus 3z plus 2. So z plus 1 and z plus 2. This is the factor of this equation. So put the value of adjoint and mode of zi minus z in this equation. We can get z plus 3, 1 minus 2z, and in the denominator z plus 2, z plus 1. We have to rearrange this matrix. We can get z plus 3 upon z plus 2 z plus 1, 1 upon z plus 2 z plus 1, minus 2 upon z plus 2 z plus 1, and z upon z plus 2 z plus 1. Now we have to find the value of x of k. And what is the equation of x of k? Z inverse of zi minus z inverse z into x of 0 plus zi minus z inverse h into u of z. So first of all we have to find the value of z into x of 0 plus h into u of z. Zi minus z inverse that we have already found. So here x of 0 is 0, 1, that is given. U of z, it is the z transform of unit step, because the input is given unit step input. So what is the z transform of unit step input that we have to discuss in the earlier example? It is z upon z minus 1. So put the value of x of 0 and u of z in this equation. So z into x of 0, it is 0z, and h into u of z, it is 0 upon z minus 1. What is the value of h? That is 0, 1. Okay, so 0, 1 into z upon z minus 1. So we can get this type of matrix. We have to simply add these two matrices. We can get 0 upon z plus z upon z minus 1. Simplify this, we can get 0, and the second factor is z square upon z minus 1. Now we have to multiply with zi minus z inverse. So zi minus z inverse into zx of 0 plus h u of z. Okay, so this is my zi minus z and this is my zx of 0 h u of z. So we can get z square upon z plus 2, z plus 1, z minus 1, and z cube upon z plus 2, z plus 1, z minus 1. Now you have to remember, whenever we get the value of x of z, the next target is we have to find the x of k. And what is the equation of x of k? X of k is equal to z inverse of x of z. Okay, so we have to take the z inverse of these two terms. And now, as you know, the direct of the z inverse of these two terms is not possible. So first of all, we have to apply the partial fraction method, find the value of a, b, c for the each factor, and then we have to apply the inverse z transform method. So x of k is equal to z inverse of x of z, z inverse of z square upon z plus 2, z plus 1, z minus 1, z cube upon z plus 2, z plus 1, z minus 1. Now we have to take the z inverse of these two factors. So first of all, we have to take the partial fraction of z square upon z plus 1, z plus 2, z minus 1. Okay, so we have to find the partial fraction of z upon z plus 2, z plus 1, z minus 1. So that is equal to a upon z plus 2, b upon z plus 1, and c upon z minus 1. Simplify this equation, we can get z is equal to a into z plus 1, z minus 1, plus b into z plus 2, z minus 1, plus c into z plus 2, z plus 1. Now put the value z is equal to minus 2. So we can get minus 2 is equal to 3a. That means a is equal to minus 2 by 3. Now put z is equal to minus 1. So minus 1 is equal to minus 2b. So we can get b is equal to 1 by 2. Now put the z is equal to 1. So we can get c is equal to 1 by 6. So this is the partial fraction of the first factor. Now the second term will be x1 of z upon z, that is equal to, put the value of ABC. So minus 2 by 3 upon z plus 2 plus 1 by 2 upon z plus 1 plus 1 by 6 upon z minus 1. So x1 z is equal to minus 2z by 3 z plus 2 plus z by 2 z plus 1 plus z by 6 z minus 1. Now what is the equation of z inverse? Then inverse of z upon z minus a is equal to a raised to k u of k. So the x1 of k is equal to minus 2 by 3 as it is, z plus 2, z upon z plus 2, it is minus 2 raised to k u of k, plus 1 by 2 as it is, and minus 1 raised to k u of k, and plus 1 by 6 as it is, z upon z minus 1 is equal to 1 raised to k u of k. So this is the answer of x1 of k. Now we have to find the value of x2 of k. Okay, so similar method is applied. First of all, we have to partial fraction of this term, z square upon z plus 2, z plus 1, z minus 1. Find the value of ABC. So simplify this equation. We can get z square, that is equal to a z plus 1 z minus 1 plus b z plus 2 z minus 1 plus c z plus 2 z plus 1. Okay, so put z is equal to minus 2. We can get 4 is equal to 3, so a is equal to 4 by 3. Then put z is equal to minus 1, so we can get p is equal to minus 0.5, and put z is equal to 1, we can get c is equal to 1 by 6. Put the value of ABC in this equation, we can get x2 of z by z, that is equal to 4 by 3 upon z plus 2 minus 0.5 upon z plus 1 plus 1 by 6 upon z minus 1. So multiply with this z, we can get 4 by 3 into z upon z plus 2 minus 0.5 into z upon z plus 1 plus 1.6 z upon z minus 1. Now z inverse z minus 1 is equal to a raised to k u of k. So we can get x2 of k is equal to 4 by 3 z upon z plus 2 is equal to minus 2 raised to k u of k, minus 1 by 2 z upon z plus 1 is equal to minus 1 raised to k u of k plus 1 by 6 z upon z minus 1 is equal to 1 raised to k u of k. So this is the equation of x2 of k. So the x of k is equal to x1 of k and x2 of k. Put the value of x1 of k. So this is my x1 of k, and this is my x2 of k. So put the value of x1 of k and x2 of k in this equation, we can get the value of x of k. They will also ask to find the value of phi of k. But the equation of phi of k is given like this manner: y of k is equal to c into x of k, or the y of k is equal to only x2 of k, or the y of k is equal to x of k. So depending upon the example or the equation, we have to find the value of phi of k. Okay, so using the continuous time state space model to the approximating time of the discrete time system, we can easily find the value of x of k. Clear? Thank you everyone. If anyone have doubt, then contact me in my email ID.